quiet. Quiet on the set.
All right, gotcha.
This weekend SEC football promo. Take 2. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's your guy, Mr. Fingaz, coming to you live from Zagnif Central.
Hey, and I'm Collin P., a brother from another. What it is, Showbiz?
I will tell you what it is, Showbiz. You guys, welcome to this week's edition of This Week in SEC Football. But before we get started, do us a little favor. If you're watching us on the YouTube, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. We appreciate you much. And if you want to be a contributor to the show, a little something to help the cause, right down there in the bottom, in the lower third, in the crawl, rolling across your screen is the address for our Patreon page. We got some great perks for those of you that are contributors and regular viewers of the show, because we appreciate you so very, very much. So, Collin, my man, I think it's time to get this show started. What you say?
My man, let's lay the hammer down.
Oh, you know we gonna do something before 2 something. Club Shay coming right at you right after this. Oh, hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls.
What Bama does, what Bama do. They were giving Alabama like Alabama was this, and Alabama didn't lose their 2 starters.
Does not show up that day,
Dude,
or was it
you watch the same?
It's offense more like I've noticed it's more of a passing.
Hey, who knows? It might have been, might have not been. Who knows? But then again, that's why they call it football. I mean,
oh man, that's definitely going on the blooper reel.
you do that voice, I think of Norbert. Oh my God, we have a dandelion encrusted rib.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How you doing? And how are you doing? It is your boy, Mr. Fingaz, coming to you from Zagnif Central in the heart of Oklahoma City. And that fella right there, the brother from another, the sexy mother hubba, the ace of base, and the place in your face, Collin P. from the DMV. What's up, man?
Hey, man. How you doing, sir? Doing all right?
I'm doing good, man. What happened to what it is, Showbiz? Oh, I know what happened. We'll talk about that in a minute. You still feeling it. You still feeling it. But welcome to this week's edition of This Week in SEC Football. We getting ready to get into it. Collin, I want to start with you and find out what you got into. But breaking news real quick. Breaking news. I mean, literally breaking news while you and I were talking earlier that no idea that this should happen. Oh, where's the thing? Come on now. This thing is running slow as get out. Y'all bear with us. The internet's acting dumb. Breaking news. Apparently, the Volunteers of Tennessee football program has been hit with 18 violations and almost $60,000 in illegal benefits under their former coach, Jeremy Pruitt. We're going to get into that and dissect that a little bit later on. But what I want to know about is how are you feeling, sir?
Oh, man, I feel good. I had a great night last night. It was awesome. Much needed break. What was that?
I saw you was having a good time last night.
Yeah, most of y'all know my cousin, actually my first cousin, DJ Rock. He's a traveling DJ for Luke Bryan, and I don't really get to see him that often. He's still in Georgia, bouncing around, and I don't make it to Georgia that often, but I get to see him up here when he comes up to Jiffy Lube every now and then when the tour comes through this area. And so, every time he comes up here, we went out and saw him last night, and it was a party. Every time you go out there, Luke Bryan puts on a heck of a show, and so does he. So, had a great time. Kind of recovering. You know how it is when you get a little bit older. It takes a little longer to kind of get back reset to zero.
You had a Bubba J night, didn't you? I've been drinking beer and watching Luke Bryan.
Yeah. That was an early night. I was considering, it was pretty early. I got back before midnight. I mean, that's always a plus, but still, you know how it goes.
Yeah, I know exactly how that goes. To those of you that are watching us right now live, do us a favor. Go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and, hey, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and click the unlike button. It doesn't matter. Interactions with our video put us in the algorithm. So whether you like us or you don't like us, or you want to cuss us out, or you want to agree with us, or you want to say something crazy that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, go ahead and drop it in the comments. And also, if you're watching on any of the platforms that we are on right now, we are streaming live on Facebook, we are streaming live on Twitter, we are streaming live on YouTube. Do us a favor, go ahead and click the subscribe button, and that will alert you every time we come on live. To answer your question, I got a question here in the comments. I'm wearing the gear today. I got the gear on today. This is from Zagnif Apparel. You can get this right now if you go to that website down right up underneath Collin right there, etsy.com/shop/Zagnif Apparel Design. Or if you happen to be watching on your computer right now and you got your phone in your hand, take your phone, hold it up, hit the QR code, click. It'll take you right to the website. You can get one of these. I actually have this on backwards because it's got the logo on. The front part of the shirt says unconquerable, and then it has a definition under that says adjective and capable of being surmounted. Kind of describes a certain football team from Athens that we saw in action last season. So yeah, if you want to grab those, head on over to the website down there in the bottom right corner of the screen. We'll be talking about a sweepstakes that we still got going on right now through the 30th of the month. Of the day is the 22nd. That means you have 8 days. The 30th of July, 11:59 p.m. is the last chance to enter and get yourself some free gear. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Man, wait a minute. Hold on. I did that already. Yeah. Sean is all up in the comments. We'll get to that one in a minute too, Sean, that last one. Let's see. So what's going on here? Man, I'm so excited to be here because we didn't. Oh man, I forgot I'm very happy to be here. Part Ace the Base in the place in your face. I'm very happy to be here.
Very happy.
So a lot going on this past week with the SEC. It was SEC Media Week. It was a lot going on, man. A lot going on, and we're just going to give you a little piece of it. We're going to give you a little piece of it today. We'll dive deeper and dissect a lot more, especially since we got this breaking story on Tennessee. I had to pull it up. I got an alert on my phone, so I had to pull it up. It was SEC Media Week. All the coaches, all their key players, everybody showed up. Everybody had something to say. I definitely want to talk about first this guy, Clark Lee. Clark Lee is out of his mind.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he absolutely is. I heard what he had to say.
Clark Lee is absolutely, positively out of his gourd. Now, for those of y'all that are a little bit lost, you're like, what is Fingaz talking about? Vanderbilt is a decent-sized school in Tennessee. Little brother to the Tennessee Volunteers program. Well, actually, I guess they're getting ready to be big brother to the Volunteers because they're going to get slapped with Tennessee's going to get slapped with some violations. Well known for their academics. Not so much for their football program. Perennially the worst team in the conference. But they still managed to pull off some decent out-of-conference wins.
I don't think they've had a winning record, have they?
No, they haven't had a winning record. But you know, they regularly average anywhere between 1 to 4 wins a year. If 4 is 5 if they're having a really good season.
Right.
Their coach came out to say that Vanderbilt will in time be the absolute best team in the Southeastern Conference.
What?
Exactly, Foobs. Exactly. I'm going to say that again so y'all make sure that I didn't stutter. Clark Lee went on national television and said that the Vanderbilt Commodores will be the best program, not just in the SEC, in the country in time. Wait a minute, Foobs. Wait a minute. Hold on. Foobs, what was that you said again?
What?
Exactly. So I want to know what you think about this, bro.
I mean, I'm all about positivity, being on the platform of positivity, all that kind of stuff, and get your players pumped up. I mean, but you gotta keep it within reason, man. I mean, you can't shoot for the stars right off the bat. It's a gradual process. I understand pumping up the players and that kind of stuff, but making that kind of acclamations or projections or that this early, I mean, that's kind of and that opens you up to being, like you said, slapped in the mouth and somebody saying, "Oh, what happened?" You know. So you thought you were going to be the best ever, blah, blah, blah. What happened? So.
That's wait a minute. that's like me saying that by next fall, I'm gonna be a Caucasian man living in the biggest house in Dominion Valley and the richest person in the country by the end of 2023. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that is absolutely. I mean, where in what world, bro? I don't even have anything like I don't have a breakdown for this. I don't have
No.
like we don't have to explain. We know how Vanderbilt has been in the conference for the
Yeah,
better part of it's just they've been in the conference.
yeah,
How do you get on stage and say with your whole chest that we gonna be
yeah.
the best team, not just the best team in the conference? That means you're gonna be better than Ole Miss. That means you're gonna be better than Mississippi State. Well, that ain't too hard. That's to mean you're gonna be better than Arkansas and
No.
Alabama and Georgia and Kentucky and Florida and Auburn and all of them. You're gonna be not only are you going to be better than all of them, you're gonna be better than Ohio State. You're gonna be better than Notre Dame. You're gonna be better than Michigan. Are you
Mm-hmm.
are you
What?
Yeah.
that's how crazy.
You gotta love the optimism, though, man. You gotta love the optimism. I mean, like it kind of leaves you nowhere to go, though, because you know what I'm saying. You're gonna be the best ever right off the jump. I mean, it kind of leaves you no room for improvement. You know what I mean?
No. There was a very famous philosopher by the name of Rick James, and he had a philosophy about some things. And he said, and I quote, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah,
And another famous
exactly.
singer said, crack is whack. All I'm saying is, Clark Lee, put the crack pipe
Yeah,
down, boo boo. Put the crack pipe down, boo boo. You got, dude. I
yeah,
mean, like, if he had come out and said, well, I feel really good about the direction that the program is going, and we're working really hard, and we're dedicated to the Vanderbilt program, and platitude,
yeah.
blah, 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 rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. We got a great group of kids in here that are working really hard. The coaches are working with them. No, this man just walked up to the mic. This is what the man did. He had a speech, okay? He had a speech, and he was going to come up on the stand and read it, and he just walked up and looked at all them faces, and he just went, I don't need that. We're going to be the best team in the country.
Oh my Lord.
Oh man, and look, I can't even steal any catchphrases from anybody. But if Huggy Lowdown was here right now, he definitely would say that Clark Lee, you are the Bama of the week. I see Sean. We got the comments coming in. Sean says best in the country seems far fetched, but Vandy's not awful. They could make a run in the SEC, but not best in the country. Maybe he was talking about academically. Okay, Sean. Look, that's like saying, well, he wasn't all bad. I mean, yeah, sure. He wrote his name. He wrote his name in blood on the teacher's chalkboard, and he stole all the kids' milk money, and he flattened all the tires of all the teachers. He totally destroyed the teachers' lounge, and he flashed the principal during his graduations during when he went up to get his high school diploma. But he wasn't all bad. He didn't mean it. That's not what he meant. What?
Yeah, I see that.
Come on,
There
Sean.
you go. That's
Look,
context for you. That's context.
Sean,
You can
look,
read it for however it is.
we already know that Vanderbilt is one of the best academic programs in the country. Vanderbilt, you got Vanderbilt, you got Harvard, you got Duke, you got, basically all the Ivy League schools. You got Stanford, you got Brown. You know what I mean? This man he really took Kevin Hart's Uncle Richard Jr. advice seriously.
Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. We gonna be the best team in the country at some point. Man, have a seat, brother.
He was talking peel his muffin cap back blue. Peel his muffin
let me peel his muffin cap back blue. I mean, I am okay, last year was Clark Lee's first year. They went
Mhm.
2-10. They lost to East Tennessee State 23-3 in week 1. The only two wins they had were out of conference wins against Colorado State and UConn. And you know that UConn is known as a basketball school. I mean,
Right.
their men's program is not on the same level with the women's program, but damn,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
like
I understand the whole rah rah, rah rah speech, and this, that was far from the cookie cutter. We're gonna do our best, and this, trying to give a good season, try to be, you know, try to have a cohesiveness in the team, and everybody get together and play good football. No, he's like, we're gonna shoot for the star, we're gonna beat everybody. So I just don't, I don't understand why he
well,
did that.
I don't either. I don't either. And then what he did was he turned around and then he turned around and then he tried to give the speech that he should have given. You understand?
Mm, mm-hmm.
He opened up with a crazy statement. Maybe it was just a shock and awe that he was trying to put out there. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
this
that
guy,
could very
this
well.
guy literally. Have you seen this guy? He literally looks like Prince Harry bald.
No, I didn't know. I just read the article. I didn't see what it looks like. No,
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
So this is what he had to say after he gave that statement. He said, "We're engaged in what has become a unique form of team building. We are a relationship-driven, student-athlete focused program that values the holistic development of our people over all else. To us, this isn't an antiquated concept. It still matters. When you do the right things the right way with the right people, with respect and appreciation, you will not be denied. When you're smart in design and disciplined in your approach, you win out in time. That's
Yeah.
Vanderbilt football. No, Vanderbilt football is, oh my goodness, they lost to Eastern South Carolina Junior College. Like that's the Vanderbilt football that I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Mm.
I've got nothing else to say on that because I am so dumbfounded
No,
that he actually let that come out of his mouth.
like I said,
I
you,
can't.
you open yourself up to ridicule severely, after you make that kind of bold statement, and then you go. Tell me what happens if he goes if they go winless, like if they don't win a game this coming season. What's he gonna say? Does he get fired after saying what he said and not winning one game? Does he get fired? Does that open it up to being,
This is his.
you know,
This is his. Let's be real though. This is his second. He's coming up on his second season. Last year was his.
yeah,
His first season. He's a brand new coach with them, and the way that I see it, that they're going to give him this year and maybe part of next year because he's still operating with the same kids that were there with the previous coach. So generally speaking, I mean, unless he just does something ridiculously egregious, generally speaking, they will give a coach 2 to 3 years to see what they can
yeah,
work with because they come in and they're still dealing with the other coaches' players, and they don't know if the players still have some degree of loyalty to the former coach. Although in
right,
2020, and although in 2022 they just transfer out and follow the coach wherever they're going. However, I doubt very seriously the previous coach got a head coaching job somewhere. I'm just saying.
I seriously doubt it.
Yeah. Let's look at some of these comments here. We get to these real quick. Yeah, and Sean, you're right. They were bowl eligible, and I don't know. I mean, it in the NI. I mean, think about it though, Sean. In the NIL era, do you think that Vanderbilt has the kind of money to be able to attract kids to come to the school? Another sportscaster that I was looking at, he says, "Do you think that these kids are really picking these schools for NIL deals?" He said outside of those kids, he said most of the guys that make it to the league, a lot of them aren't 4 and 5 stars. A lot of them are 2 and 3 stars that came in and
Mm,
hustled and worked hard
yeah,
because they're what they're doing is they're going to the schools that gives them the best opportunity to make it to the league. And
yeah,
you still got a lot of kids like that. Now, there's going to be a generation coming behind, and it's going to be all about the Benjamins. But you still got some kids in high school right now that are like, if I go to a Georgia, if I go to Alabama, if I go to an Ohio State, if I go to a Notre
yeah,
Dame or a Michigan or, an Oklahoma or a Texas, I have a very good chance of making it into the league. I'll probably get NIL money, but I still got a good chance of making it into the league. I just
yeah.
don't see. I
I'm
don't
saying I
see
was.
Vanderbilt being a place where you have a good shot at getting into the league.
Well, I was.
That's my rebuttal to that. I feel you. I don't think they'll be horrible. I think with the level of competition coming in, they'll get on the come up. But I don't think they're gonna be, contending for the conference championship anytime soon. And you were gonna say something, brother, and I cut you off. Apologize.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to Sean's point and maybe to yours as well, just, if making those kind of statements, how would the environment or how would it change for teams like Vanderbilt that are normally not, don't win too many games, necessarily every year, and now the NIL's out and transfer portal and that kind of stuff. And then again, what would make Vanderbilt attractive to these players to go aside what you were saying, where they can go there to shine or highlight their attributes and be able to play and to get noticed more because it's in the SEC, but it is Vanderbilt. But I mean, what would make it attractive to go there for players? How would they do that? I mean,
I'm
is that
not
kind of
sure.
like what he meant? Like he was trying to kind of get it pumped up to get more players to kind of take notice of Vandy? Maybe that's what he was trying to do.
Maybe. And I mean, you had think about how we had Jerry Glanville in Atlanta wearing leather jackets on the sidelines, riding motorcycles at games.
Yeah,
I mean, Jerry, even though Atlanta never got very, very good, Jerry
yeah,
Glanville managed to turn the Falcons. He gave them that whole new image. That was a question last night. I was guessing on another show, and the question
mm,
was top 3 coaches in the franchise, and I named Jerry Glanville in that number, along with Dan
yeah,
Reeves and Coach Quinn. Those two because they took the team to Super Bowls. But I named Jerry Glanville because even though he wasn't especially prodigious, here's what he did: he took and changed the entire image of the franchise and made people start paying attention again with the black uniforms and Neon Dion and all of the other stuff that went
right,
along with that. So
yeah,
maybe he's crazy like a fox. Maybe he's not CeeLo Green crazy. Maybe he's crazy like a fox. But I just
yeah,
don't. And Sean raises a good point that there's more options. There are more options than just one big name school. I agree with you 100%. But until we start seeing more parity with the NFL draft, where the draft is, taking maybe reaching out and taking a chance on some of these kids in some of these smaller schools. And we do see that. I mean, some
yeah,
of the greatest players in the league came from smaller Jerry Rice and the Randy Mosses and the
mm-hmm,
Shannon Sharps and the things like that. But you don't see that every single year. Like
right.
those guys are the token guys that get picked in between like the 4th to the 6th round. They may or may not make the cut. They may bounce around the league for a while. What's going on, Nate? Appreciate you for dropping in, sir. And and Sean said exactly what you said. They're not well known for bringing players, but maybe he's trying to change the culture. And hell, who knows? That would be great for the culture. I mean, look at some of the coaches we got now. We got Jimbo Fisher, taking pot shots at Nick Saban. We're going to talk about
Yeah,
that in a
I mean,
minute.
look at Lane Kiffin. I mean, Lane Kiffin, he's always
Get your popcorn
always ruffling
ready.
feathers.
He's
Yeah,
always talking something. Lane Kiffin's always on the outside starting some stuff. He had to say the other day, so this is what it comes down to. You can legally cheat now, so everybody's cheating and everybody's getting the players. That
I love
is
that though.
that's a quick summation of what he had to say.
Yeah,
So yeah, hey, that might be you might be on to something, Collin.
maybe that's the only thing I
You
think
might,
of. I mean, let's just
hey,
think about it.
you definitely may be on to something, and who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe just maybe Vanderbilt might be able to take this from Texas.
We're back.
No,
Although they were
I was
never
gonna jump back to. I was gonna jump back to you said like Tennessee getting hit with all that stuff. I know we're gonna get in that in a minute, but what are they gonna do with the mustard, man? They don't have no money to buy the mustard, and what I mean.
stop it, Skills.
They can't. I mean, the DoorDash is going to take a hit, bro.
You're so stupid. Well, fellas, we won't be playing any bowl games. We'll go ahead and put the mustard away. What are we gonna do with all this mustard? Well, we weren't gonna eat it anyway. We were just gonna use it for throwing.
Well, they
Man.
may not be buying French's. They may be buying that that generic stuff.
They'll have to buy Great Value brand mustard.
Yeah, the Costco.
Oh, man, they'll have to buy the real old school generic mustard with just the white label with just mustard on it.
Yeah.
Oh man! Speaking of Tennessee, great segue. Those of you that are just joining us, welcome to This Week in SEC Football. I am Mr. Fingaz, the Mad Karaoke DJ. I actually can use that now because in a few weeks I'll be in Virginia hosting Celebrate Fairfax's Karaoke Championships. We'll talk about that later. That fella right there, the brother from another, the sexy mother Hubbard, the ace of base in the place, in your face. I am very happy to be here. Collin P from the DMV. I had to do the whole thing because I had to throw that in there because I messed it up the first time. You know, you gotta show a little love with that. So talking about Tennessee, man, look, they said it was about $60K that was paid to prospects under Jeremy Pruitt. Of that $60K, they said that Coach Pruitt himself. Oh, irony! I had a track coach in high school named Coach Pruitt. He had a speech impediment, and he had a plate across here. So he was always trying to hold it in place, so he couldn't pronounce my whole name. So he called me Andy Handy. Anyway, Coach Pruitt provided about $9,000 to the mothers of two prospects, and his wife made 25 cash payments totaling about $12,500 to help another guy's mom make a car payment. So maybe there was some fire behind the smoke as to why they fired him. Maybe they knew what was going on and they got rid of him and brought a new coach in to try and avoid the violations. But that's why they fired him. It was an internal investigation into the allegations. Let's see. Failure to adequately monitor its football program, arrangement of unofficial visits, and to ensure compliance with NCAA recruiting legislations, failure to promote an atmosphere of compliance, and failure to monitor his staff, violating NCAA principles of ethical conduct when he, quote, knowingly arranged, offered, and provided prospective and enrolled student athletes and their family members or individuals, etc., etc., etc. Basically, you shouldn't have given them money. They also had recruits on campus when nobody was supposed to be on campus because of COVID. So they're not going to, due to the large number of level 1 violations, they decided not to charge the university with lack of institutional control and commended them for their cooperation during the investigation. Oh, so apparently this is all just now coming out. This is old news that is just now coming out. So it doesn't look like Tennessee is going to serve any type of violations as a result. You say, oh, like you're disappointed. Like, I mean,
well,
you know.
But I was gonna raise just a question. I mean, theoretically, doesn't the NIL deals kind of get rid of that kind of situation? I mean,
it does.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah,
it does.
Or not really. I mean, yeah, it actually does get rid of it. But
but still, there's still. I think there's still certain things that you can't do. What was the question, Nate? There. If you're talking about from before, the question was about what does Vanderbilt have to do to attract kids to their program, because Vandy is not really known as a football powerhouse in the conference. And their coach stepped up on the podium at the conference media week and said that in time, the Vanderbilt Commodores, who went 2-10 last season, and those 2 wins were out of conference, and then their third out of conference game they lost, which was their season opener, by 20 points. Not just lost, but lost by 3 touchdowns. The question was, how does Vanderbilt attract kids? And the answer, Collin was saying that maybe this was just him trying to change the culture. And you're right about that, Nate. I mean, NIL, now it's all out in the open, is all it is. It's all out in the open.
Yep.
It used to be a guy would, meet you at a sandwich shop somewhere and hand you a bag under a table or, something like that. Or, a third party would get some money to you some kind of way, no wires. It was mostly cash because wires could be traced and checks could be traced and things like that. So you're right about that. But the NIL is definitely put everything.
It's all known rules. Like everybody knows the rules. Everybody knows what you can and can't do, and they still do it anyway. It's kind of like like a speed ticket. You ain't supposed to go that fast. You get a ticket, like, oh, what I do? You know the rules. You break them. But some of them are, like we were talking on the other show, I think on Andrew's show, about Gurley getting suspended for signing little tiny mini helmets for $10. I mean, there's $10, monetary stuff like that, but still, it's a rule. You can't. I mean, the rule's a rule. But $10 and $12,000, $9,000, from a coach to make car payments for another player's family member or something like that. That's that's a little bit.
Absolutely. And the two cases that we brought up the most on the show is Reggie Bush having to give back his Heisman Trophy, and just the entire SMU program being dismantled because they were lining those kids' pockets and they got caught doing it. So absolutely, we're going to talk a little bit more about SEC Media Week because there was some pretty quotable quotes, one of which came from a potential Heisman candidate. But right now, we're going to take a brief pause for the cause and give a shout out to one of our sponsors, the newest sponsor of This Week in SEC Football. You guys hang tight. We will be right back right after this.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a football card enthusiast, there is one person you need to get at. That is my man, Sydney Swinton and Squid Rips Cards. You can catch him on TikTok at Squid Rips Cards, and he's live on TikTok twice a week. He's got all kinds of sales going on. He's been hooking up the members of the Let's Talk Football community left, right, and Sunday. Speaking of the Let's Talk Football community, shouts out to all the members of the Let's Talk Football family of podcasts. We got Mr. Sean Spencer, one half of the dynamic duo of the original show, Let's Talk Football, with his co-host and the other co-founder, the ever jubilant Janae Strother. That's your $200, $75 SAT word for the day, ladies and gentlemen. The jubilant Janae Strother. We also have the round table. We've got Let's Talk Fantasy Football, Let's Talk Football Sunday mornings, Washington Football Weekly, this program right here. And then we've got friends of the Let's Talk Football family. Oh, I'm sorry. We got our guy, the Big Nate, with the Big Nate podcast, talking WNBA, talking Major League Baseball, talking NFL, doing big things. He's got an inside track with the WNBA where he's an insider for the Washington Mystics. Another of our Washington DC based brothers, and then we've got we got some family outside of that. Shouts out to North Sports Dynasty, Bucks Report. You guys, all of y'all, thank you all for being a part of the Let's Talk Football family of podcasts. So y'all get at my man, and it's right there down in the bottom in the crawl. Squid Rips Cards. Go see my man Sydney. Everybody that's gotten cards has been nothing but pleased with what they've gotten. We were getting there, Sean. We were going to talk to that, but we would let you bring it in. So there's the question: did we talk about Kirby Smart's new contract? No, we did not. We actually were planning on talking about that on the Monday show, but since the question was asked, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this right here. Hold on a second, Mr. Spencer. You need to check your messenger if you are free. But Kirby Smart, in the wake, the story came out mid last week, that Kirby Smart actually was contemplating retiring after the 2021 season. And then the Dogs won. I don't know if it was, I can't, whether it was frustration or just getting tired. I mean, he's been in football his entire life, from little league to high school to playing ball at Georgia to coaching with Nick Saban. I gotta say it, that is our cross conference rival year in and year out. And I can't say enough about what an incredible coach that Nick Saban is and what he's done with that program to bring it back to prominence. But following around Nick Saban, and then he's been at Georgia for 6 seasons. So he's been involved in football probably, I mean, he's a few years older than me, so he's probably been in football for over 5 decades. Yeah. And maybe he said, this is it. I had a good run. I made a lot of money, got a chance, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. And then they won the championship ring. And the University of Georgia athletic department intern decided to extend his contract to 2031. And Kirby Smart will now be the highest paid coach in Division One football. $112.5 million. And on the high end, at the end of the contract, he will be making it'll start out at 11.25 million. He will be making, I'm sorry, he'll start out with 10.25 this season, and it will
Yeah.
rise all the way to 12.25.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Nate says
it's kind of funny.
Nate,
It's kind of
Nate,
funny that we
Nate,
didn't
Nate
hear.
says Nate says here that he thinks the media and the boosters were getting to him. But I mean, hey, the man made it happen this year, and he was rewarded in kind. See, that's the kind of thing where I say, okay, a coach deserves a new contract and he
Yeah.
deserves a raise. When Nick Saban won the national championship the year before, he got a raise.
Well, what I'm saying is, figure when this came out, like I wonder if this was. We didn't hear about this till after the season, right? So I mean, do you think, or did you hear anything before that when the season was going on? I mean, this just came out. Go ahead.
I heard that they were in talks to extend his contract, but we didn't know what the deal
No,
was.
I'm talking about him contemplating retiring.
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah.
I did not know that until 3-4 days ago. I knew nothing about it.
Same here, and I was just wondering if there was any kind of that. Evidently not, because nobody said anything about it. But I mean, we had talked about it before. I mean, and to Nate's point, the media and everything, and just a grueling just day to day of being a head coach. As far as recruiting, I doubt he gets much sleep. He's constantly on the road, constantly recruiting these guys to come to Georgia and that kind of stuff. And again, the media and it's got to take a toll. I couldn't even imagine having to go through that on a day-to-day basis, and not even just during football season. Just football season. It's a yearly thing. It seems like it never stops in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, I can definitely see him feeling that way. But I think winning the Natty and getting that contract might have kind of made him feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
it would have made me feel better, but still.
I 100%. I agree with you, man. I definitely would be like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know how much I make right now. If I had a job, if somebody offered me a job making what Kirby was making before they extended his contract, I'd be like, you want me to do what? I got to sweep poop all day. No, not all day. I just got to do it for 2 hours a day, and I'm gonna make $6.5 million. What time? From 2 to 4 in the morning? I'm in.
That's it. I was gonna say, yeah, in the dead of the night, absolutely, no problem. I'll be right there. No
yeah.
problem.
So, those of you just joining, thank you for joining us for this week in SEC football. Mr. Fingaz here, Collin from the DMV over there, and right now we're talking about Kirby Smart's contract. Coach of the University of Georgia, in the wake of their championship run, in which they finished 13-1 and finally conquered and vanquished the demon that was being able to beat Alabama in the national championship when it counted. I know they look bad in the SEC conference championship, but yeah, they gave him a 10-year extension, which will pay out 10.5 this coming year and will max out at 12.25 in 2031.
Now you said that makes him the highest paid coach now. Does that make him the highest paid coach?
Yeah, he's gotten paid. He's getting paid more than Nick because Nick is going to get an average of 10.6 through 2028.
Okay.
And then some other notable contracts within the conference. Remember that LSU gave Brian Kelly $95 million over 10 years. So he's gonna get $9 million this year. Jimbo Fisher got a 4-year extension. It's gonna get him $90 million over the next 10 years. And Dabo Swinney got a 10-year, $93 million deal in 2019. So Dabo's probably gonna top out at 10 by the end of his contract. But here in the comments, Nate is saying he doesn't think it's a good contract because what if they struggle 3, 4, or 5 years into the contract? Well, that is a risk that you take when you sign a coach to a deal like that. And
you don't think there's a clause in there? There's probably another clause in there that takes care of that situation. What do you think? I don't know.
They would have to. I'm pretty sure his folks sat down and ironed it out with the athletic department. I'm pretty sure they would have to, if they could not show cause to fire him, then it would be
I'd
in
buy
their
him out.
better. It would be in their better financial interests to keep him as a coach because it had to buy him out. I mean, uh, Ed Ogeron was the darling of NCAA football just 3 years ago.
Yep.
Just 3 years ago. 2 years later, he was without a job, and they didn't have show cause to fire him, so they had to pay him 17 mil to buy him out.
Yeah. What did he say? He said he had a little bit to buy a couple cheeseburgers. I thought that was funny.
I'm gonna buy myself some crawfish etouffee. Go Tigers!
Yeah, there's a lot of cheeseburgers.
But yeah, that's Nate. That's kind of. I mean, I feel you there, but that's kind of the cost of business, especially in the NCAA. But that does ask the question: how much is too much? Just like we talked with NIL, how much is too much? Like, what do you think? What do you think is too much money to pay a college coach for football?
Oh, too much money? I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I really have no idea. I mean, I don't know. Like, where's the? I guess, yeah, I can answer your question with a question. I mean, I don't know what the ceiling can be. I mean, what he's getting paid. Curry's getting paid. What was the figure again? Like total, 100. What was 125?
112.5.
12. I mean,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
no,
know. Guys are
112,
living. You keep
100,
winning, I guess. If
100,
the money doesn't run out.
112.5 million over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I know that the revenue has to be able to, they had to be able to sustain the revenue to be able to pay him.
Sure.
But I mean, with SEC Network, just last year alone, with the revenue from SEC Network, revenue from the CBS contract that the SEC had, and then just booster money, that money is there.
I was going to say that to your point, and it kind of just jogs, I was starting to be thinking something about that. With all the NIL, all this money going to these players and that kind of stuff, boosters and what you just named, granted, the SEC's got boatloads of money. I understand that. But how is it going to affect their money? Like, I mean, all these things that are coming out, and the higher, salaries of these coaches. I mean, it seems to be an endless supply, but I mean, is it really though?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there any chance of the SEC like losing any kind of money or losing money? They'll always be profitable. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, will they take a hit as far as their profitability?
Right. And so here's the thing. He was making. He agreed to a 7-year extension in 2018 after they went to the championship the first time. And that doubled up what he was making. So it rounded out to $7 million. So he came in making $3 million. Dude, I'll take $3 million. That's more than enough money than I need. Seriously.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's more. I mean, I say that, but then would I really be satisfied with sitting around making $3 million and I just won a national championship and Nick Saban's making? Well, I won't. You know what? I won't argue Nick. I won't argue you, Nick Saban. Nick Saban has won 6 championships at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that. Give Nick Saban his money. I won an SEC championship and one national title and 3-4 Eastern Division titles. I take 5 or 6. That's where I'm at. And I'm like, you know what? I'm 5 or 6, dude. The money that these college coaches are making, they absolutely positively have to love football to keep coaching as long as they coach. You know what I mean? Because if I had started coaching as an assistant coach with Nick Saban as a grad assistant, and then I made my way up to an assistant coach, and then I got a head coaching job, and I coached for 6 years, was making $3 million. I'm doing the math in my head based on what I know assistant coaches make. Kirby's got enough to retire.
Yeah.
It's the love of the game. Quick thing here. The statement from the athletic director. Coach Smart's impact on the University of Georgia extends far past his significant accolades as our head football coach. He and his wife are Bulldogs through and through, and it is evident that Athens and UGA mean as much to him as he means to us. I'm excited for our football program's continued success under his direction. The future of Georgia football remains bright with Coach Smart as a steadfast leader. And for those of you that are watching, like Nate, one of the big things about Georgia football is, we don't have championship trophies in the case. This is only 3 since 1940. This is the third one since 1941.
And big gaps between them.
with big gaps and a lot of near misses between. Now I know a lot of other schools are in the same boat, but
Yeah.
Athens being the town that it is, Vince Dooley's a god in Georgia right now. Vince Dooley is still a god. This will be
Oh,
year
yeah.
40. This will be year 42 since that perfect season. He is still
Yeah.
a god. People still revere him. So he's won a national championship. He's proven himself. The fans will love him from this point going forward. Unless he does something really dumb, they'll love him from this point going forward.
Yeah,
They'll be hard pressed to fire him if he has some near misses. If he's manages to keep the quality of football of the program and he's got near misses, they're not gonna get rid of him that easy.
Well, I mean, it was any indication. Like I was talking
The
about,
fans may call for it because we got a bunch of but
no,
we won't get
what
into
I'm
that.
saying. If any indication with watching Year Dog, this it's on right now on SEC Network, but watching him talk in the locker room, that gives a lot of pieces of him talking in the locker room during the national championship, and he's got them fired up, and he's got the leaders, he's got the leadership, and he's got the team moving. So I mean, yeah, he's worth. I mean, Kirby's worth his money, but I mean, it goes back to. I mean, in the contract, if he wins another national championship, is there probably a clause in there or something like he gets more money? I mean, like it was just he probably gets a bonus every time.
He'll probably just get a bonus. I mean, hell, they just gave him a rate. Yeah. He's gonna be the highest paid coach in Division I football starting next season. So yeah. I doubt they're gonna turn around and give him an extra $2 or $3 million a year. I think they just give him a nice little sizable bonus.
Yeah,
because of course you know if they get even remotely close to sniffing another championship, like say they make it back to say they make another run, go back to CFP, at a minimum the CFP. That's the revenue on that is going to be absolutely ridiculous. So the boosters will give money. So I think this is a good place to keep it moving. Getting back to SEC Media Week, which is what we were talking about. A lot of questions being asked of both the coaches and the players about sound bites and snippets and things that were said in the off season. And we all know what Jimbo Fisher had to say about Nick Saban just about a month or so back about how Saban is buying all the players in Alabama. And, we brought the kids in and we did it the right way. And I'm sorry, that's what Saban said. Saban rebutted and said that we brought the kids in and we did it the right way. Well, the media had a question for Mr. Will Anderson, the star linebacker of the Crimson Tide. And they asked him what he thought about it. And his answer was very simple. When we play Texas A&M, everything will be addressed then. now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the viewing audience, I don't know if you there are certain things in the English language that help you to understand and get across a point so that people will know what it is that you're saying, so that there's no mistaking what is coming out of someone else's mouth. And I don't know if you heard, I don't know if you are familiar, but if somebody says something along the lines of, "Yeah, I'll see you later," that does not necessarily mean that at a designated point in time in the future, we will again become reacquainted with one another, or we will be in the same vicinity as one another. What that means is you're getting ready to get prepared to get a butt kicking.
Yep.
I got hands for you. Try Jesus, not me. I got hands.
That's right.
So what Will Anderson had to say was, "Oh, we'll see him again. We'll see him again."
Right.
We got it. Short and sweet. What you think about that, man?
No, that's the way to handle it, man. I mean, he handled it just perfectly. I mean, it settles the situation, quiets the drama. It's like, we will see you on the field, and that's kind of honestly that's how it should be. You don't need to build more material. I mean, like honestly, you just go out there and knock him down on the field. I like what he said.
I said what I said.
I said what I said.
Yeah. So, and no question about it whatsoever. I mean, with his whole chest. Let me see if the audio will even play. If the audio will even play. Man, he looks so much smaller out of his uniform. Have you ever noticed these guys look so huge, and then you see them out of their uniforms, and yeah, it's not gonna play. And you see him out of their uniforms, you're like, yo, they look so small. Like he just looks like he looks like, and that's a picture. But in that picture, Will Anderson looks like if me and him got to throwing hands, I might could take him out. Now I know he probably benches about three something. He
Yeah.
benches about three something, and I bench a 3-piece. So
Yeah.
between the two of us,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
have to catch him with a lucky one. But yeah, he said when we get on the field, everything will be addressed. It's just like Jameis
And
Winston said.
since we're on this subject, did you see what Stetson said in his interview or his comments? And
No, I did not.
he addressed the fandom. He addressed people that are in this. He said some people are in my corner, some people are not. That's just the nature. He said I can't focus on the people that don't necessarily like me. Can I change their mind? No, you can't change their mind. You just need to go out and play the best football. Basically that I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but he's taking into account. He knows what's going on. I mean, it's like honestly, it's the best attitude that he could have. It's like I can't change their attitude. Some of those guys you just can't be pleased. And that
Right.
it's not.
But
Honestly, it's not on him to please anybody. You know what I mean? Not, he doesn't know about nothing.
All he has to do.
I was maybe the University of Georgia, but.
All he has to do is show up and play. That's it. That's all he has to do.
Absolutely.
And Sean is saying it should be interesting with the new quarterback. And because you got Gunnar Stockton coming in, so we will see. That I think there's actually going to be a quarterback competition. We know how this goes. Stets, the mailman, was the quarterback of the national championship winning team, so he's going to get first dibs. But he's going to have to be. If he was 85% last year, he's going to have to be 100 this year.
Yeah, I get that, and I see Alabama should dominate, but I mean I'm concerned. I wouldn't say scared, but I mean they're gonna be coming. I mean for blood. I mean like obviously they're gonna have Chip. Bryce's gonna have Chip on.
Okay. He said he's talking about Texas A&M is what he said.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about Texas A&M. Yeah. Sorry about that, Sean. I had to scroll down to read the rest of your comments. There we go. We all caught up. But for sure. Stomach, be quiet. I'm gonna feed you in a second. My stomach is like, I want to get on the microphone. You had a nice Italian sub for lunch, and now you won't cut it out. For those of you that are just joining us, thank you for joining us for this week in SEC football. Mr. Fingaz here, Collin P from the DMV over there. Speaking of, Sean asked me earlier where I got this really snazzy shirt. I think this is a good place to take a pause for the cause, have another ad, and then we'll come back, wrap up what coverage we got of SEC Media Days for this episode, because like I said, we're going to really break it down next week, and then we're also bringing back the SEC Team of the Week next week with we haven't decided yet. I was getting ready to say something that we hadn't decided yet, so we'll have that by Monday. We'll know who the Team of the Week is, but we'll be right back after this. Do not go far.
Zagnif Productions,
in association with Zagnif Apparel,
gives you the opportunity to win free athletic gear. And here's how you do it. Visit the Zagnif Apparel Design Shop at Etsy.com. Purchase any piece of apparel that will automatically qualify you for the August 7th drawing for free apparel. Each purchase counts as one entry. No limit on the number of entries allowed. At least one lucky winner will win one free outfit. That's right, one free top, one free bottom. Note, the embroidered bomber jackets will not be regarded as prizes for this sweepstakes. July 30th is the last day to enter, so get to the Zagnif Apparel Design Shop at Etsy.com today for your chance to win free athletic gear, courtesy of Zagnif Apparel.
in conjunction with Zagnif Productions, LLC.
Man, forget Zagnif Apparel. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your chance. You have 8 days. Count them 8 until 11:59 p.m. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. You have 9 days until July 31st at 11:59 p.m. to get your order in, and the caps are in. You got snapbacks. We got there. We got embroidered snapbacks, and we got embroidered beanies, and they are both dope. They got this logo on it right here. You go to that website right down there in that corner over there by Collin, or you scan that QR code, and they will get you all squared up. So one just a little funny piece about SEC Media Day. Somebody actually took the time to sit down. You notice people on the internet, people now that just live on the internet, and all they do is just keep track of stats. Well,
Mhm.
this the most interesting stat that came out of SEC Media Week. The tweet says, "Here we go. The useless stat of the week. Absolutely nobody asked for, but I started keeping track of on Tuesday. The opening statements of all the SEC coaches by word count." So, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. All right. Good. So, who do you think gave the shortest opening statement?
The shortest, I say Saban.
Okay. Now, who do you think gave the longest opening statement?
The longest of it, Lane Kiffin.
You would be wrong on both counts.
Let
The
me first one.
shortest speech was given by Mike Leach, 7 words. Longest speech was given by "We gonna be the best team in football," Clark Lee, at 2,340 words. They said his remarks,
Three.
his opening remarks, that he basically gave a sermon.
Wow.
So from in order from top to bottom, it is Clark Lee at 2340, Shane Beamer at 2185, Kirby at 1438, Pittman at 1379, Saban at 1339, Stoops at
Oh,
1296, Eli Drinkwitz at 1196, Heupel at 1147, Napier at 1131, Harson at 886. You would think Harson would have given a shorter speech. He'd been like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm just here because they let me be here. I didn't
yeah,
want to say
I was
nothing. I
gonna be
really
fine.
they made me come. They don't want me here, so I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then you can ask me some questions." Jimbo
Yeah.
Fisher at 490. I'm surprised Jimbo Fisher's in the bottom half because he's always got something to say. Brian
Yep.
Kelly at 343 and Lane Kiffin at 219. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The
Okay.
useless stat of the week that absolutely no one wanted. The opening statements of all the SEC coaches by word count.
That's an interesting
And
stat, though. It's a useless stat, but it's actually pretty interesting. Somebody's got to be
yeah,
bored to actually put that all together, though.
dude, you really got to be bored. You got to be like, man, I ain't got nothing going on whatsoever. I'm gonna count their words out. Let me see how many words it is. Hold on. and wait a minute. What did get your popcorn ready, baby? Is popcorn one word or two? Okay, like the whole night, like just. No, there probably was somebody, but he actually sit down and did that. I can't believe he did that. I really can't.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some more into SEC Media Week on our Monday show. By the way, we were not here on Monday. Why? I'm glad you asked. This week in SEC football, sending out belated birthday greetings to my beautiful, my lovely wife, Mrs. Fingaz, who is probably right now on the couch watching a Hallmark movie on a Friday evening because that's what she does, and I'm here for it. So, baby, I love you. Happy birthday. I'm glad we just had a really relaxing day. I cooked for her, stuff like that. Got her some flowers. Got her
Good
some more
stuff.
yarn for her yarn collection because she loves to crochet. I started saying knit. I did say knit earlier. I meant crochet. I did not mean to use the wrong verb for crochet because apparently
Not
there's
this.
right. Right, exactly. That's exactly how she did. She's like, yeah. That's not
Yeah.
what it is. That's not what it is. It's a question from the crowd. What do you think of Darnell Washington? I'm going to let you go first, Mister
I'm gonna retort.
College people of DMV.
I'm gonna retort. I'm gonna get it back to you. I want to see what you Darnell Washington. What do you think about that first?
I gave it to you first because I'm trying to set something up for the next segment. That means when I let you go first, that means talk, and so I get ready for the next segment.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna. All right.
We just gave
what we
away
actually talking
we
about?
just gave away an industry secret, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on now. You had to refresh my memory on Darnell. I'm not really up on
Darnell Washington, a tight end for the Georgia Bulldogs.
He's old, right? He was old, right?
What's that?
0? Was he number 0?
He looks like he's a transfer.
Okay, I missed that.
No, I'm sorry, not a transfer. My bad. Not a transfer. I said that's versus. I don't. You know what? I got to be honest with you, Sean. I got nothing. I'm gonna have to do a deeper dive. See, Sean has been actually. That's why I sent you the link, man. Jump on. I sent Sean the link so he can come on.
What's the 411 on Darnell? I mean, like, what's the Sean? What we got? I'll give you my opinion. Absolutely. You know, I got a lot of them.
Darnell Washington had. This is what he had said. He said that the offense is going to be scary, and the offense is really going to be scary this year. And that was. I'm gonna be honest. I got nothing on this. We can address this on. I can address this on Monday. Now, what you think about that?
Now, I'm trying to figure this out. I want to know what's going on.
Okay, you said you're talking to Kat. She's driving to Michigan. No, that's all good, man. If you can't get on, that's fine. And listen. Let me tell you something. How about this? Our boy Sean did so much research. He caught us short on our research end because we really all we planned to talk about today was just to give a little bit of talk about SEC Media Week, which we're gonna get more in depth into on Monday as well. So I will definitely do some deep diving, some deep digging, and we will come back at you with everything that we come up with.
Yeah, I got the gist, but I got the gist. We can kind of hold on to it.
Caught me off guard, man, because I was getting ready to get everything together for the 2-minute warning. What were you saying, sir?
No, I said I kind of read up on a little bit. I got the gist of what happened, and so if you want to table it till Monday, we can definitely do that.
No, if you got it, let's go.
Well, no, I mean, so he's been out of action. Like he's been missing practice for apparent lower leg injuries. What this article said here, and there's been speculation that he was going to transfer, but he talked to the media and said that he never even thought of transferring. Like it's a lie, or supposedly a lie.
Well,
I'm happy for my whole team and the tight end group especially, but it was rough a bit.
Well, the biggest thing with the tight ends is we're not a team that does a lot. Georgia is not a team that does a lot of passing. I mean, Brock Bowers was a leading receiver, and we had a wide receiver, we had a stud wide receiver transfer to Alabama, but you've got AD Mitchell, you've got Brock Bowers, you've got Ladd McConkey, you've got our other guy coming back, Darnell, and then you got Darnell's like. I wouldn't be surprised if he just said that to buy himself some time. He may have been considering transferring. But he may have bought himself a little time. It's July going into August. I don't know what the transfer portal windows are, if he's still eligible to transfer at this point. But I mean, it could be a matter of him taking time during his injury to look at what the offense is going to be looking like and deciding whether or not he does want to transfer.
Right. Hopefully. I mean, look at his competition. I mean, look at Bowers. Bowers been showing his behind, and then you got if we do pass the ball, you said we're not necessarily a pass first team. If we do pass, most of the time it's a screen, and or to a tight end or to a hook route or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. And it begs the question if he does feel kind of the pressure of Bowers getting most of the looks and most of the yards. So I mean, it's nice to have tight ends on both ends. Like both ends of the line. But I mean.
He said something here. He said, I want to add a tight end to the backfield. which would be pretty good, man. Could you see that? Like
Yeah,
some tight end reverses or some special packages where they do something like a goal line stance where they bring in another big baby type package,
yeah,
a big baby type package doing the
yeah,
blocking and having the tight end in the backfield. Just a little something to keep them on their toes.
exactly.
McConkey, will McConkey be good this year? Is he a Pickens type or more of a slot receiver? I see him being more of a slot receiver. He was a true freshman last year,
Yeah,
so he got some good looks, but I don't see him being that pick. I don't see him going up and challenging for challenging for passes, for jump
yeah,
balls. Um
right. I mean,
he's
if I'm not, oh, he's shorter than Pickens, right? He's probably not what,
yeah,
6 foot or something like that. He's just a
yeah.
shorter dude.
Yeah, he's a little bit shorter. I don't see him being the guy going up and get the jump ball. I definitely see him being like a slot receiver. Like he's gonna have a
Right.
designated route and he's gonna, you know what I mean?
He's quick. Yeah,
Now who I see would be more of a Pickens receiver just based on what I saw of him in the national championship is AD Mitchell.
absolutely. Yep. 80. Yep. I agree with you totally. I think we were looking for him probably to take that spot or take that position there.
Now talent wise, I need a bigger sample size, but I definitely think he's a talented wide receiver. I think I need to see more of him this year, which we probably will. I think we probably will see more of him this year. Um, he's very good at hitting those routes and creating separation.
Yeah.
And he's got phenomenal hands. I don't think I saw him drop a pass. I don't think I saw him drop a pass all season. There may have been some passes broken up, but I mean, good hands, good at tracking the ball. Like
Right.
he's one of those guys that you can definitely put it over his shoulder and he will catch it in the breadbasket. Um, so yeah, absolutely. As far as that level of talent, yes. As far as the acrobatics and being able to lay out and get the ball, I didn't see a lot of that out of him this year. But then he didn't get those kind of passes thrown to
I was
him
gonna
this
say
year.
you're
So
probably gonna get your sample size this year. I'm pretty much sure he'll get a lot more looks this year. I think so. You'll
yeah,
get a bigger sample size. I think.
most definitely. Most definitely. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are right up against it. This is a perfect time to get at it. Move on into our next segment, which is the final segment. Uh, this week's segment, the 2 minute warning. Um, man, we hate to always be so somber in this segment. But we did last Monday. Uh, I lost a good friend, and this past Monday we lost another good friend, and Mr. Eric Edub Robinson. For those of you that know him from the karaoke scene, the Chooka Man. He's well known in the old school Fairfax karaoke circle, all the way through up till um, the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
Um, was he was in Texas? We got the phone call on Monday, so our condolences to the entire friend group, the entire group of friends and unofficial family and family. Arrangements are being made right now. But that brings me pretty much to the 2 minute warning, and I'm just gonna circle it all the way back around again. Couple of things. Number one, make sure you take care of yourself. If you got a relative portion of health and strength right now, make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you get your regular doctor's checkups because you never know what's going on with you if something's wrong. And make sure that not only are you taking care of yourself, make sure that you check in on you folks and see how they're doing because he moved to Texas right after I moved to Oklahoma, and we used to talk off and on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
he had a close call. He had a close call about a month and a half ago.
Right.
And we didn't think we were going to see him again, and he pulled out. He managed to pull through, and then we got the phone call on Monday. So make sure you check on your peoples. I know you might not have talked to him in a while. You got no beef. There's nothing going on between you. Life happens, man. I moved to Oklahoma. The people I used to see every day. I don't, I'm grateful actually for this platform because this gives me and you a chance to rap at least
Oh yeah.
once, twice a week.
Oh yeah.
I'm grateful for Let's Talk Football because there's some of my peeps that are tied into Let's Talk Football, and I am expanding my circle of friends in the Let's Talk Football family. So yeah, just a phone call, a text, throw a little note in the mail, slap a stamp on it. All those stamps are getting to the point where before too terribly much longer, they can cost as much as a gallon of gasoline, but that's a different story for a different show. Um, just make sure you check on your folks and make sure they're doing okay, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So,
Exactly.
and as our dear friend Mr. Spencer likes to say, we do know that the race is not given to the swift. Actually, that does not apply here. I just wanted to say that because Sean says it all the time. I'm just giving Sean another shout out there. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know the day. We don't know the hour. You know, so
Yep,
just make
absolutely.
make make sure. And that's all I got for the 2 minute warning. What you got, bro?
Yeah, no, yeah, I was definitely sad. I mean, I've hung out with, we used to hang out, with Eric and all you guys, Gats and everything, and he had the biggest heart, the heart of gold, and everybody just gravitated to him because he was that type of guy, But yeah, definitely sad to hear that. But on the flip side of what you said, obviously, yeah, I agree with, reach out, check on your people, check on people nearest and dearest to you. But when you do get a chance to, like my situation last night, going to the concert with my cousin, like I don't see him nearly, or my family in Georgia nearly as much as I'd like to, because I'm up in Northern Virginia, and don't get a chance to travel down there nearly as much as I'd like. And keep up with them on Facebook. Facebook can be used. I mean, it's a great tool to keep up with people that if you're not,
Phenomenal,
on the phone call,
without
if you're not
question.
talking on the phone for a long time, whatever. You got to keep it up, and not necessarily want to talk to everybody, every day. You got to keep up with people, on Facebook, and that kind of stuff. But when you have the chance to, when they come around and you have a chance to hang out with them, it's best to. I mean, that's your chance. Don't sleep on a chance to, hang out with somebody that you care for, and know you care that cares for you, and make sure you get these good times instead of and what's the saying? I figures that everybody talks about you at your funeral. Everybody
Yeah,
gathers around the funeral, and
yeah.
all your
Don't.
friends show up, and then make that
Yeah, don't.
happen. Before that time ever comes.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
preach. You
mean,
better preach that. Don't let
yeah,
don't let your friend's funeral be the first time in forever you said, "Man, I wish, man, I enjoyed hanging out with you, man. I
yeah,
missed you, man. Man, I'm sorry I didn't call you, and I thought to call you 2 days
yeah.
beforehand." Don't let that be the time or the first
Right,
time that you say, "You know what? I loved you, and I didn't show you enough how much I cared about you."
yeah,
That's the thing,
yeah,
So 100%.
yeah. And
100%,
that's
man. We're
all I've
sorry.
got,
We
really.
did we did not mean to end the show on a somber note. We promise you. Here's the guarantee. This coming Monday. Oh, by the way, I know I don't have any saying this, but those of you that are under the sound of my voice and you're watching this, y'all stay well, please. I'd like to see y'all. I'm coming to Virginia in a few short weeks. Make your way out there. I'll be at 8508 Leesburg Pike in Vienna, Virginia, right on Route 7, hosting the finals for the karaoke championships for Celebrate Fairfax. I'll be in Fairfax on Thursday night. I'm not Fairfax, in Chantilly on Thursday night at the Backyard Grill. Friday night, I will more than likely wind up going to Old Shabine after the karaoke competition. Um, Most definitely.
I'll
Oh
definitely
man,
see you. I'll be there.
wait a minute, hold on. Janae's doing a show. Is it this coming Saturday, Sean? I'll get at you about that later. We closing the show out. I'll get at you about that. Oh snap! Hey, Collin, we got to hit Johnny Ray's while I'm in town. I haven't had Johnny Ray's
Yeah,
since a year before we moved out here.
I think he's moved several times. I got to find out where he's at. I don't know if he's in Leesburg,
He's
or I know
he's
he's
in
not in Herndon
Sterling, I
anymore.
think, right now. He's in Sterling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been gone from Herndon. It's tomorrow. Well, make sure to take plenty of video for me, Sean. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Um,
Yeah, Sean, I'll get up to you, Sean. I got to work till 5, but I'll hit you up.
okay, that's what's up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do appreciate you hanging out with us today for this little slice of Southeastern Conference heaven. We want that one for this little slice of SEC heaven. Um, we will be back on Monday, back on the regular schedule. Monday with the regular show, Thursday with the team evaluation. We will put up who we're going to be talking about that coming Monday. And we will also have the team of the week, and we will have more SEC media days chatter. And We will also be talking about conference realignment. Yes, I know what's going on. Don't spoil it for anybody, those of you in the comments. We'll get to that on Monday. So on behalf of yours truly, Zagnif Productions, Zagnif Apparel, hit the left-hand corner. Wait a minute. Where's my you are getting very sleepy. You will go over to the address
That's
in the
dangerous with me,
right-hand
man.
corner.
That's dangerous, Fingaz.
Huh?
That's dangerous to be doing that to me.
Yeah, you will go to the address in the right-hand corner. So yeah, most definitely. We will see you guys on Monday. I'm Mr. Fingaz. He is Collin P. And we are OUWT out. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.